I mean, you've pulled some pranks, I'm sure, through the years. What was your first reaction when you heard this? I mean, and the Australian DJs were probably loving it for a while, that they got through, that they pulled it off.
And let's also, you know, call it what it was. Until this morning's tragic turn of events, the station itself was loving this.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you're talking about them all over the world. It's a horribly tragic turn. I don't think in anybody's wildest imagination anyone could have projected that it would have ended up like this. If you had told me they had thought about, hey, let's call the hospital and pose as doctors and give medical instructions to nurses, then you could say, guys, you know, something really wrong could go there if someone takes you seriously. But for somebody to wind up dead as a result of this was such a stretch. I think it's safe to say that this poor woman had probably a lot going on in her life aside from this, and I'm guessing that this is just a tipping point of a broader scope.
And you lead to a lot, I'm sure, questions that you and I don't have the answer to right now. The pressure. I mean, what kind of backlash did the hospital have? What was she behind the scenes? Were people on her? Did she let down the royal family? Was that kind of pressure? We don't know that.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, her name was not released at the time. We know it now, but at the time it wasn't. So it's not like she was getting beaten up by the press. But you know, she obviously took her job seriously.
Yeah.
They take the royal family in England obviously very seriously.
Well, take us inside when you're thinking of pranks like this. I mean, so what was the mindset you're thinking? Okay, let's just take a shot. We'll do some bad impersonations, see if we can get through. Do you go over worst case scenario? Okay, what's the worst that could happen here? Is that thought of, or you just go for the laugh?
Well, in today's radio environment, you don't have to think about that because the radio station lawyers have already thought about that. I mean, because there have been, as recently as a couple of years ago, you may remember